Hey everybody, welcome back to Horror Trans. My name is Stephanie Bree. I apologize for these videos coming a little late this weekend. I've been working a lot and dealing with some stomach issues. I have a severe chronic medical condition that sometimes flares up, and today has been one of those flare ups. So I'm going to try to get through this, but I'm in a lot of pain right now. Today, this is Horror Trans. I am a transgender woman. My name is Stephanie Bree, and I talk about all things horror. And today, I'm talking about Cabin in the Woods. So, Cabin in the Woods is a horror movie that is post Scream meta in like the most extremist sense. Um, on the surface, at first, it almost looks like just another like slasher or Evil Dead copycat, but then it morphs into something much worse. You have a group of teenagers. It's pretty standard. Go to a cabin in the woods, and they unlock an evil, ancient evil. In this case, it's I believe, a family of cannibals who are resurrected as undead monsters, but not necessarily zombies. And um, the monsters are supposed to kill um, the kids in a specific order, and if they do so, it will please the ancient. The ancient ones is all they're really referred to as. They don't really say what they are. And then they will stay underground or wherever they are, and everything will be fine. But two of the survivors of the attacks find their way underground, and what they discover is there's a research facility that is keeping hordes of monsters. And apparently, there's some sort of blood ritual that, if performed just right, will satisfy the ancient ones, and then they'll leave everybody alone. But if it isn't performed just right, the ancient ones will walk the earth and put it into humanity. It doesn't really explain what the hell the ancient ones are, um, where they come from, what their motivation is, why they need the blood sacrifice. Nothing like that. Um, and this is one of those dark movies. I'm going to go ahead and spoil the ending. Nobody survives. It has a dark ending. The apocalypse is triggered at the end of the movie, and we see the end of the world begin to take place. Now, Cabin in the Woods, if you're watching it beat by beat, is a pretty scary movie. Um, but it's also, what's interesting about it is it has this big giant underground prison of glass containers holding monsters in them. And if you look at the containers, you see, excuse me, pretty much a representation of nearly every monster type in nearly every horror movie ever made. And then throughout the movie, you see the scientists looking at monitors around the world, seeing what different creatures um, are unleashed and how the individual groups deal with those particular monsters. So what we see is the scientists are actually placing bets on the different groups around the world to see which group is going to um, complete the blood sacrifice to save humanity. when the two teenagers who survive the, we'll say, deadly undead attack find their way into the facility, they inadvertently, I would say, open all the cages and unleash the monsters, and then all hell breaks loose. And we get one of the bloodiest fucking sequences in any horror movie I've ever seen. And it is fucking spectacular. If you haven't seen Cabin in the Woods, you absolutely need to see it. Excuse me. It is 100% a buy, and I highly recommend it. It is a fun fucking movie. Now, by and large, I am not a fan of meta films, and I'm not usually a fan of horror comedies. For the most part, there are exceptions, but it has to be done well, and this happens to be one of the few that does it well, really, really well. And it turns out to, break some of the rules, and I like that. It does a really good job of pretty much bringing all the horror movies together into one universal canon, if you will, and I enjoy that.